Well, my name's Mark Anderson and I'm a seminarian for the Sydney Archdiocese. I didn't always think I was going to end up being a priest. To be honest, I thought I was going to get married. I grew up thinking I was going to get married. It was always my brother that was possibly going to become a priest. So I was actually an electrician for many years. I worked in the mining industry for a number of years, for about 8 or 9 years. And it wasn't until after that time that I first got the idea that I would possibly be a priest. And what attracted me about it was probably so at the time I was growing in my faith, and I guess I just was in a unique position because I'd been an electrician for so long in the mines. I was still single. I wasn't married. There aren't many girls in the mines, and I was in this unique position where I was able to be a priest, and I guess I just felt this call from God. I tried to ignore it for a long time, but I felt this call from God that just kept coming back and kept coming back, and I was a bit afraid to follow that call. And after a while, I said, well, yeah, I'm going to, with God's help, I'm going to give it a try. When you enter the seminary, it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to become a priest, but it does mean that you're certainly on that road. And so I guess what attracts me about the priesthood is the life that you're able to live very close to God. And yes, you can do that as a married man, but as a priest, I'm able to give my whole self, my whole soul, and my whole body. I give my whole self to God and have a life that's completely centred on Him. So I think that's probably one of the big things that attracts me to the priesthood. Well, so far in the seminary, well, as I said, I'm one of the older seminarians, and I've got a few grey hairs in the beard. But so far my experience has been wonderful. It's been fantastic. Before I came into the seminary, I didn't really know what it was going to be like. I had no idea really. I was really sort of stepping off into the unknown, and I guess I had perhaps a bit of an idea formed by Hollywood and popular culture as to what it might be like. Maybe I thought it was going to be sort of strict or something like that. And sure, there are rules, because when you live with other people, there have to be rules, otherwise it'll be chaos. But it really is, I find, a very freeing place, a fun place. There's a lot of you make a lot of good friends when you're here, and it's a very unique place. There aren't many places where you go where there are all these people that are on fire with love for God, all under the same roof, and that's what you get in the seminary. So, been very positive, very positive. I've really enjoyed it. I think the first year that I had here was one of the best years of my life. It was sensational. I made some really good friends. I was really confirmed in my decision to be here, and that's ongoing. But I love the life here. It takes a long time in the seminary. I mean, it's a 7-year formation, so guys do leave after at different stages, and that's fine too. That's what we're here to do. We're in the seminary to discern. This is what we're doing. When you're not a priest until you're a priest. So even I'm still discerning, but I'm very happy here, and I really enjoy the life here, and yeah. Tips for those that are discerning. Number one, I guess if you're going to be a priest, then first up, you need to, this is advice that helped me, you need to try to go to Mass every day. If you're not going to Mass every day, if you're not always going to, there are some people that aren't going to be able to get there because Mass isn't available. Maybe their work times clash with the Mass or whatever, but if you can, you really need to try to get to Mass every day. You need to be live a deep prayer life. It needs to be growing the whole time. That's a good tip. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, you're going to be, if you're discerning to be a priest and enter the seminary, you're essentially going to be a man of God. So you need to be a man of prayer, and you need to be praying. Another tip I would have is that sometimes guys find themselves in the position of possibly going into the seminary, but maybe not living a really public Catholic life. And maybe they're at work and some of their workmates don't know that they're Catholic. It would be a good thing to show your colours before you come in. If you're going to be preaching the gospel one day, you need to, as difficult as it can be in a society that's, sort of gone un-Christian, you need to be brave and show who you are. And it'll just make it very easy as well when you tell all your workmates that you've made a big decision, and you'll find that people respond very, very well to it. Other tips for entering the seminary: go and visit Father Apelli. I'm from the Sydney Archdiocese, so if you're from Sydney or if you're from another diocese, go and see your vocations director, and he will be able to help you discern. He'll be able to help you work out whether you're meant to be here or not. There's only so much discernment you can do outside of the seminary. You can only get so far. You really need to enter the seminary before you can really get down to the nitty-gritty and discern whether in fact God is asking you to be his priest or not. It's the seminary that you work it out in. And even if you join and you leave, it doesn't matter. Just because you join doesn't mean you have to stay. The whole point of the seminary is that we're discerning whether we're meant to be, whether God's asking us to be priests or not. So guys come and go, and that's fine. And if you're seriously discerning, you will enter the seminary, because that's where the real discernment happens. So yeah.